Morning, welcome to another video. Now today, we're currently on the spur in Derbyshire near Barrow Hill. Behind me we've got Lane Junction, which is not there anymore. This direction, we're walking around the camber towards what was Lane Junction. I'm joined by Vinny. Say hello, Vinny.
That's right.
Now behind him would have been the whole Hartington Colliery, which closed around about 40 years ago and got sucked into the complex of Markham Colliery, which is further down towards Seymour Junction. We're going to take the curve around down to Lane Junction, then have a wander up the line towards Barrow Hill, what remains, towards where the HS2 project depot is planned to be. We'll come back on ourselves and follow it down towards Poolsbrook, the site of the colliery and what's now a country park, down to Seymour Junction. So let's see what we can find.
So let's take a look at where we began our journey. So the line on the right now, that is coming from Chesterfield and Barrow Hill, and it will disappear behind us in the direction of Rotherham. Now the line on the left hand side is the curve of the line which we're following at the beginning of this video, and in the distance just look at that, the buildings and the industrial chimneys and the factories. It's just amazing. Now all this has gone, but that is the direction that we're heading in.
Now we've come across one of these covers. It looks very, very recent, probably like a couple of years tops. So these are obviously still maintained even though there's no track. I suppose it's to keep the people like us from falling down them.
Now in the previous clip we've just been looking at a bridge that's Lane, and underneath that is a little stream running. Now this is the Class 56 locomotive. It's hauling its train of coal and it's at exactly the same location. Now note that huge bridge crossing over the line that we're on now, which is no longer there. Now that is the line from left to right from Hartington Colliery, and if the line followed it along to a number of, the network was absolutely huge on the other side of that line, the industrial area, ironworks, gasworks and more colliery land.
Okay, we've found ourselves the remain of a signal. So we've got the foundation there from where the telephone would have been. They're hidden in this tree. It's difficult to see, but there is a signal in there. There we go, we've got Vinny kindly demonstrating that you can get up there. Right, we're going to have a go at climbing it. Oh, twig in the eye. Yes. There we go. Okay, it looks like there's some reclamation works going on there at the colliery. So yeah, to the right we've got the line going towards Barrow Hill. We're going to go down there in a moment, and to the left towards Seymour, and there's the line down there heading off towards Lane Junction where we've just come from. Okay, we're leaving the Lane spur behind. We've got a few sleepers remaining, a random 20 or so. We're going to go down here to the junction and then go back on ourselves towards Barrow Hill in that direction for half a mile or so. Right, so that'll take us to Poolsbrook and it'll take us to Seymour Junction. So we're going to cut across here and head that way. So just got underneath Lane and we've got ourselves the remains of another signal. Oh, look what we've got at the top. Just be careful not to bang my head. There we go. So as you can see, that goes in very much the straight line towards Barrow Hill. We've got the curve of Hall Lane itself, and the railway line is just the other side of that. There's the road over bridge behind us. We're going to continue up there, see how far we could go, and then we'll come back down and follow it to Seymour. Okay, we've found ourselves a very decrepit looking footbridge that we don't seem to be able to get on. Going from right to left, I can only assume that goes over towards where the canal is somewhere. And then on the ground, stacks of old wooden and concrete sleepers too. There we go, that looks very rickety. Okay, we'll just go a bit further down, and then we'll be going back towards Lane Junction. Got some old electrical boxes, looks like they've been completely wiped out on the inside from what I can see. Put the camera in. Okay, let's push on. So at this point we're walking along now, heading towards Barrow Hill. It's certainly the most overgrown we've seen it. We're unsure where the last working would have come down here. We believe the track was lifted around about 2010, 11, 12, or stolen. But it's so green down here. We found a pair of what appear to be yard lamps. Got ladders on both sides, and also a hook just there, which would probably have been used for the lamp itself. And the other one is over here. There again, there's the ladder. Just left. We've found ourselves some rail on the trail. Excellent. Didn't expect to find any of that. Obviously some sort of like building or some sort used to be there. Looks like there's a bit of a driveway just there. Maybe going up to there, and that's fenced off. It's like a pillbox over there. Okay, let's see how much rail we've got. Right, we found another signal, and it's still lit. I don't know if you can make that out. That is amazing. So we're going to turn around, head back towards Lane Junction, and then head off down towards Paulsbrook and Seymour Junction. So we'll see you down back at Lane. We just found this, we don't know what it is, it's right next to the railway line. Not going to go far in, but it's full of foil. And it seems to be a tunnel. No idea where it goes or how far. I mean, it might have been some kind of like cellar for the property above. But it's got like pillbox style openings on it, either side. It's really peculiar. Right, let's head back to Lane Junction. So heading towards Lane again now, Lane Junction. There's the bridge carrying Lane, and we're just pointing out that it's quite an incline this is coming up towards where we're stood now, because we're pretty much level with the actual bridge walls. That's rather steep. Back at Lane Junction, so that'll take you to Foxlow. That's where we've just come from. That's where we're going, towards Seymour Junction. So we'll see what we can find down there, if anything.
Now in the previous clip we've just seen some quite old security fencing. Now this was the site of Lane Junction signal box. Now here's a nice little image of the signal box showing a DMU service coming from the Seymour Junction end heading towards Barrow Hill direction, and the line to the left is off towards Foxlow Junction.
So there's an old ripped out cable box. We're about to cross over the River Rother. Let's have a look on the other side. And if we were to keep going along the river around that corner, we'd meet the Chesterfield Canal. Okay, Lane Junction in the distance, that's the River Rother. We'll leave that behind us. We believe that was bridge number 4. So that's the recently constructed bridge number 5. So over in that direction we've got Staveley Marina on the Chesterfield Canal. And on this side we've got this decrepit looking footbridge. We've got some sort of like bridge structure there. We're just outside of Paulsbrook, but there's absolutely nothing but bungalows on the opposite side.
So here's a lovely little shot by Phil Sangwell. Now it shows the bridge that we've just passed in situ. So the Class 20 is coming from Seymour Junction. You've got Lane Junction and the signal box behind us, and that is the Great Central Railway crossing the bridge there. And on the left hand side where the embankment is, that is now where the bungalows are today, and the right hand side is where the retaining wall still stands.
Just look at the size of that retaining wall. That is so high and so long. It goes quite some distance down as well.
In this fine image from the late 1970s, we've got an MGR train working from the direction of Seymour Junction, heading towards Lane Junction and towards Barrow Hill. On the left hand side of our shot, we've got Deaton's Metal Centre, and this is still going. On the other side of the picture was Poolsbrook Colliery, and it is now a country park.
So this is the bridge crossing over Poolsbrook. It's not in bad condition, clearly a double track width. Some recent-ish repairs just there. We'll take you over to the other side. There we go. So just to my right, we're now walking along what was Poolsbrook Colliery. Now this was sunk in the late 1800s. And eventually closed and was amalgamated into the site of the Great Markham Colliery complex until that closed in 1993. So the final part of today's walk and explore, we're just heading on down for another 5 or 6 minutes to the approach to the old Seymour Junction, where we'll finish today's walk and we'll pick it up again another time. Also of interest, right next to Poolsbrook Colliery was Island Colliery, and this is another one that was sunk in the late 1800s. And that carried on until it was also acquired by the Markham Colliery complex, and it too would have finished production in 1993. We're just approaching the beginning of Seymour Junction, which at one time was 24 tracks wide at its peak. Now there's nothing apart from ballast and a few sleepers. Okay, we've now reached the edge of Seymour Junction. We'll be back here pretty soon, so don't go anywhere. We're going to be following the line south towards past the Markham Colliery complex, Bolsover Colliery, and also the Coalite chemical plant down towards Doley. And also over there we've got Seymour Colliery, which we probably can't get to anymore, but it's all been built on. Go straight down the centre, we'll take the line left towards the M1. One more could be off towards Oxcroft, and another time we'll continue on towards Clown and towards Creswell. So thank you to Vinny for spotting a few things and coming along. And from me, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.